Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Savannah Humoller, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
I love how they build it up.
Oh, yes. Now it is officially game week.
I love the crescendo.
That's exactly right.
Up.
Cowboys-Eagles Sunday, 3:25 at the Link. And we are here to break it all down on Mick Shots in the SWBC Mortgage Studio. Mickey Spagnola, Savannah Humoller, and Everson Walls.
I'm studying. Don't bother me.
But Bill Jones is on assignment again. It's got to get done with this World Series stuff. Right?
I know.
Jeez, now they got a parade today.
I know us a parade. Golly, Did I tell you when we won in New York, we never had a parade?
No way.
We never
No
had
ticker tape down.
We never had a parade.
Not down Broadway.
That's because Jersey and New York were trying to figure out who's going to foot the bill. But then they put it on. Well, we've got the war over in over there. We don't want to celebrate too much.
Yeah, the Middle East.
Yeah, come on, man. That had nothing to do with it. And the troops, of course, we respect that. But that had nothing to do with why we did not have a parade.
I'm
still asking them,
That's
too.
unfortunate.
That
I'm sorry.
is very unfortunate.
You deserve a parade.
I do deserve a parade, damn it.
Well, Arlington is getting the parade, by the way, all around the district there between Globe Life Field and AT&T Stadium, by the way, and it's supposed to start in 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
They're expecting like 500,000 to a million people.
I keep hearing that. They were talking on the radio about hundreds of thousands of people are on their way, and it's like, okay.
What, you don't believe it?
Well,
what is
like 300, 400,000 people are going to be in that little
Hey, man,
area.
Did the Cowboys?
I think it'll happen.
I think it will. I
can't remember what the number was. Pretty big downtown Dallas when the Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
It was.
In
That's
92.
my point.
Yeah.
And that was in '92.
Right.
So here we are now. Come on.
I remember I was part of the.
God, I'm old.
I was part
Jeez,
of.
I
That's
just remember
only
how
like
old I am.
31 years ago. I was part of the KRLD coverage of that Super Bowl. We were broadcasting on a balcony outside one of the rooms at the Adolphus Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just coming right by us. And there was very little security back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know how now they have all the security for the parade guy?
Yeah.
The Cowboys were on open air, I want to say, like open air cars, like convertibles, and the people were just walking down the street with them. Yeah, there was no barriers or anything.
That's before anybody got crazy ideas.
I know. A simpler time for us. But
I wonder if my stepmom is there. I don't know if I told you guys yesterday. She has been a Rangers fan. I mean, do or die. And I called her afterwards. And we just screamed on She was just screaming.
That's
She was
so awesome.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if she wanted to make
I'm
it
sure
down.
there is a bunch of people out there screaming right now. But we will get you ready here on DallasCowboys.com for Cowboys-Eagles on Sunday. A huge game. You know what? And it's a huge game for both teams.
Yes.
Everybody's acting like this is a big test for the Cowboys. Well, it's somewhat of a big test for the Eagles.
It's no doubt it's a big
Right.
test for the Eagles.
And if you think about it, I know they're 7-1, and I know they went to the NFC title game. won the NFC title game last year.
It's an ugly 7-1.
It hasn't been consistent, right? And they talk about the Cowboys and how they failed the test against San Francisco. It's like, oh, okay. But one of their tests so far has been Miami. They did win the game, but late in the third quarter it was 17-17.
Yes.
And so an interception turned that game around and set up what ended up being the Eagles winning touchdown.
I think Tyreek Hill's drop also could have changed everything. I don't know if they scored a touchdown on that drive, but they had a chance to score, and he caught it. All he had to do was just veer in, but he's so doggone fast.
Like he was too fast for his hands.
Fast. Oh my God! And the ball ended up going out the back of the end zone. But
yeah, they haven't. They've given up 30 points both times they played Washington with Sam Howell at quarterback, by the way. So yeah, this is kind of a big game for them. I keep saying everybody. I saw somebody mention that Philadelphia had a 2-game lead on the Cowboys. No, they got a 1.5-game lead.
Right.
They played one more game, right? They're 7-1. The Cowboys are 5-2. If the Cowboys can win this game, they'll both have the same amount of losses. But again, it's a tough place to go play. It's always been a tough place to go play.
I hated playing there. I like New York. I like playing in New York. I like playing in D.C., but it's something about Philly. Something's hanging over your head there. It's the anger. You can just feel the grittiness when you step into the city. You step into the stadium. The fans are just. I got flipped off more in Philadelphia than I got flipped off anywhere else, and that's usually the gauge on how tough the team is.
And you get double-barrel flip-offs, right? One from each hand.
And it's the age group too.
Yes.
It's like you can go down there to 13 and you're gonna get one up to 83.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, they're very good at that.
And
they're very passionate fans.
I don't see any snow in the forecast, so there won't be any snowballs thrown at the bus coming in, or the eggs.
Do you know about that, Savannah?
Well, earlier this week, Nate was telling us a couple different things. He told us that they used to have batteries and they'd wrap snow around it, and then they'd toss the snowballs
and
then
toothpicks and crap like that.
Mickey said that when the buses would roll in, they'd throw stuff at the buses occasionally.
Eggs. No, not eggs at the buses. Eggs. But if you recall, Jimmy Johnson was leaving the field. That was when Buddy
89.
Ryan was the coach.
Yeah, that 89
We were
game.
1-15 that year, so everybody was just stomping all on us. Buddy Ryan, he didn't have anyone, but they were cursing each other out, he and Jimmy. Well, Jimmy didn't really curse.
Yeah.
He said fat rear end.
He got his big fat rear end in the locker room before I could go up to him.
As Jimmy was trying to leave, referees are trying to cover him because the snowballs are just coming.
And then
they were coming.
Dumped the beer on him.
Yeah, it was everything.
We think it was beer. It was yellow.
Yeah, it was. And there's snow.
Yes.
So it may not necessarily be beer, when you're talking yellow and snow.
Yeah.
But they tried to cover him with their hats. It was so few, though. They didn't cover him with anything substantial. It was just like, you put your hat over there and think that's going to stop a battery-filled snowball?
That was the Bounty Bowl year.
Bounty Bowl, yeah.
Right after
they took out a kicker. They took out a kick because he used to kick for Philly. So that's when you talk about taking receipts. Yeah, Buddy Ryan took receipts all year that year on the Cowboys.
And they were supposedly, and I think the supposedly should be in lowercase because I'm sure it happened. Whoever took out the kicker was going to get extra money.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Little under the table pay. Yeah. So, it was
kicker.
It was the kicker.
A kicker.
The kicker.
How petty.
Well, do you remember the '87 game when they beat you guys?
Yeah.
And then Randall Cunningham did the fake kneel down.
Yeah.
Threw a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
Hopefully it wasn't over you.
No, it wasn't. No, I don't fall for that. I don't trust anybody. Every time a field goes lined up, I'm looking for a fake every time. So,
the game basically was over, and they were running out the clock, and they had kneeled to run the time, and they kneeled to run the time, and then they did a fake kneel and threw a touchdown pass to make it look even
So
worse.
anytime you saw Randall Cunningham having issues in the future, I had no sorrow for him whatsoever.
So anyway, that's where the Cowboys will play on Sunday. huge division matchup, and maybe that's why, these two teams playing each other is huge. But when both of them are successful, and it's a division game, so down the road, whoever loses this game could have ramifications on, if there's a tiebreaker or a home field advantage in the playoffs. So that's why this is such a big game. From an injury standpoint, Cowboys had. I grabbed the wrong one.
Oh, here I have the updated.
Very good. Look at
Thank you.
No, you take care of it.
Okay, great. Okay, Chuma Edoga. With the ankle knee, he was limited in practice yesterday. They did have full pads on yesterday.
And at least he was out there, right?
Yes,
okay.
He was out there. Michael Gallup, he did participate in practice yesterday. Jaron Kearse, he was full in practice. And Tyron Smith, he did not participate. He was with the rehab group still. So we're going to see if he was out at mock practice today.
And they were doing a walkthrough, and Mike McCarthy said he thought he would do the walkthrough on Friday, and then they would judge what he was able to do on Saturday when they have it's a non-padded practice, but a kind of a spirited, upgraded walkthrough on Saturday. They at least got their helmets on. So tomorrow when they do that Saturday practice. Remember
today they have like half of them have helmets on and half don't.
Yeah.
What kind of practice?
Today is a true walkthrough.
Okay.
And then tomorrow is what you guys used to do on Friday.
Right.
And he's decided that he wants to keep them engaged on Saturday and not have them be 2 days removed from practice. So, so that was important. So we'll see tomorrow. Probably we'll find out when we get on the plane how they're going to list him. I'm guessing he's going to be questionable. That way, if it doesn't turn out well on Sunday, then they don't get fined for fudging the injury report.
Yeah.
And I think the Eagles had their cornerback was Bradley Roby had a shoulder, and he has not practiced this week. So we'll see where that one goes.
Sidney Brown, would that be his replacement? That's what I see here.
Yeah, I think that's right. That's their nickel guy. So anyway, from an injury standpoint, that's where the Cowboys stand right now. The Eagles
how about the Eagles?
And that's the one that I saw.
That's the only one.
They've got two of their backup tight ends. Have one of them didn't practice, Calcaterra.
Yeah.
He has been out with a concussion, but he's one of the backup guys. Jordan Davis, their defensive tackle, and Jalen Carter, their other defensive tackle. Carter practiced fully. He practiced fully, and Davis was limited. So they're in pretty good shape at this point going forward.
So no excuses then from either side.
That's right.
Yes.
And as we've been talking about, we mentioned Bill's not here because of the parade. Jerry was asked about, the Rangers, on his 105.3 segment this morning with K&C Masterpiece. And I thought we'd play you a cut on what he thought about the Rangers and how that might affect the Cowboys, inspiration going into this Philly game. So let's hear what Jerry had to say.
You couldn't have red blood in your veins and have the chance to compete for something, especially if it involves sports, and not be additionally inspired by the Rangers. And I'm inspired by their manager. I'm inspired by their ownership. I'm inspired by the numerous guys that stepped up to make all that happen. It's the consummate definition and description and example of a team. And it shows how many things have to come together to make it hit just right. And then it's like catching a falling star. It's hard to have it fall together. But I'll tell you one thing, give me these road warriors and I'll take on about anything in sports or out of sports. if they'll play the way these Rangers did on the road.
There you go. Maybe he needs to use that.
That was very inspirational.
Before the game.
That really was.
The team meeting tomorrow, right? Road
catch
Warriors.
a falling star.
Yeah, how about that?
Well,
Jerry got deep.
I will say, if the Rangers winning the World Series this week and bringing that momentum to Dallas, if that doesn't inspire you, I don't know what will.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just great energy going into this game on Sunday. And then yesterday we talked to Dak after practice, and he said, congratulations to the Rangers to see what they've done in this turnaround the last couple years. The faith and trust in one another is what I took from it.
Trust.
Yeah.
That's big right there.
Right?
Trust.
And you know, if you look at how they won this World Series, 11 straight wins on the road, which no one has ever done in MLB playoff history, it's hard to do that in the regular season, let alone in the playoffs playing the best teams. But you know, CeeDee Lamb talked about it, and Dak has gone to the game, so they're quite aware of what's going on. And right about now, that parade should start in. We should have got Bill to call in. Right?
Oh, could have had
a live feed from our reporter for Mick Shots. But we will continue talking Cowboys and Eagles, and I'm going to explain to you why this game is so big to the Eagles next here on Mick Shots.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Back to Mick Shots.
K-Post Roofing and Waterproofing, the official roofer of the Dallas Cowboys.
And we continue here on Mick Shots with Mickey, Savannah, and Everson Walls. And I saw an interesting story today that made me think of you, Everson. Jackson State, one of the HBCU schools,
in the SWAC,
has a full-time female kicker.
Really?
Yes.
The football team has a female kicker?
Yeah.
So how's she doing?
I didn't read the rest of the story. I don't know if she was making a debut or what, but I saw that.
It had to
She's
be a
at
debut because
Jackson State?
Jackson State, I believe.
I mean, it would have to be new because, I mean, they would have said something early in the season, correct?
Right, yeah.
That's Deion's.
We're going to find out.
That's Deion's old school, Savannah. I guess you knew that. And so, yeah, he just left.
See what shows
What's her
up.
Stats? What's her stats?
If she's actually kicked.
We're going to find out.
Mm-hmm. That is pretty cool.
But here is why this game. Think about this. So, the Eagles are playing the 5-2 Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, after their bye, so they got a bye next week.
Okay.
So, if the Cowboys can win this game and win next week against the Giants, when the Eagles come out of the bye, they'd be tied for first place in the NFC East at 7-2.
Mm-hmm.
But here's what the Eagles have after their bye. They have to play Kansas City, Buffalo, San Francisco, the Cowboys again, and Seattle. So if you include the Cowboys game this Sunday, their next 6 opponents are 31-14. So they've got a tough stretch coming up, and that is why this game is so important to them, too. It's a big game for them. It's not just a big game for the Cowboys. It's a big game for the Eagles, too. And one of the things that the Cowboys have to deal with is A.J. Brown.
Right.
Right now, he has 60 receptions, which is 4th most in the NFL, for 939 yards, which is second to Tyreek Hill after 8 games. He's number 2, and he's tied for 5th with 8
touchdowns.
8 touchdowns, yeah, tied for 5th. So he's been awfully good. And my question to you is, what makes him so good?
Well, number one, he's got the biggest back I've ever seen. I mean, I see this
biggest back.
I mean, did you see him in his uniform? I mean, his shoulders are out here. You know, his uniform is extremely tight, but yet this guy he doesn't run tight. He runs great routes. He's very, very precise in his routes. And that's Jalen's go. That's Jalen's go-to guy. Just like CD wants to be that for Dak, he is that for Jalen.
So is it his size, his speed, both?
It's both. Because he is extremely strong. So when you're talking about getting the ball to him, not just in space, because in space means that you could be matched up with a guy one-on-one as he comes towards you. They like to catch him going through the seams. And once you catch him at full speed going through those seams, no one can bring him down. It's like I tried to bring down Jerry Rice like that one time, and he's not really that big. But when you're going against the grain, when you have that momentum going for you, it's hard to bring someone, even if he's smaller than you, it's hard to bring him down like that. He's very in tune to what Jalen Hurts wants. And when Jalen's in trouble, he looks directly for Brown. First of all, he's a great athlete. The guy can jump. He can run. So if you're talking about a 50-50 ball, most likely A.J. Brown's going to come up with it. Those 50-50 balls are extremely important. You see the way Jalen throws the ball deep. He throws it high. He doesn't throw it far. He throws it high because he knows that his receivers have the athletic ability to go up and compete against the DB.
So in 2 games last year against the Cowboys, he had 11 receptions for 170 yards and 1 touchdown. So what do you do with a guy like that? You're the corner, and they tell you, okay, Everson, you got him man-to-man.
I am not going to let him build up his momentum. I'm going to have to press him every play. And you have to be careful with that because you're going to be the guy that's under stress if you're a defensive back. You miss him at the line, he's gone. So you have to worry about not letting him get the momentum. So I'm going to squash that and press technique at the line of scrimmage so that if nothing else, he's going to have to come through me. I'm not going to open the gate for him because that gives him momentum. He's going to have to come through me to get into his route. Hopefully, that will throw off the timing between he and the quarterback. And also, I wouldn't mind having a little help over the top every once in a while.
I was going to ask you, but
a little help over the top.
Can you do that with the guy on the other side with Dante Smith?
You can do that on both sides, but then what you worry about now is can your boys up front handle the run?
Right.
Do you need the safety down there? Let's hope you don't. And then we could be comfortable back here and not necessarily have to take any unnecessary chances. I don't mind being hooked up with a number 1 wide receiver. That's okay. But if we don't have to take those chances, then why?
Yeah, because then DeAndre Swift has been pretty darn good for him.
Yeah, and I'm hoping my cornerback, we got good cornerbacks on both sides. We got good wide receivers on both sides. So the matchup is going to be exciting, but you don't always have to put your cornerback in a stressful situation just so you can say, I won the matchup. You want to win the game. I don't worry about the matchup.
And I think what's going to be key is getting to Jalen Hurts as quickly as possible. Dallas has the highest pressure rate in the league. It's 46.7%.
Nice.
So I think it's going to be up to our defense at the start to get to Hurts early.
Yeah, they got it at the front. And everybody tells me, how do you cover these guys? Well, you put pressure on the quarterback.
You start
now,
at the front,
Jalen's been having problems.
Yeah.
He's been having problems this year. He's not nearly as sharp as he was last year because now you're the team to beat.
Right.
And they've been checking out whatever his weaknesses are. I remember we were talking about the last matchup he and Dak had. Back in the day, you said the game was too fast for him. And I said the game was too fast for his offensive line because he never had help. But if you look at the potential that he has, you look at that touchdown that he threw, his last touchdown in that game. I came in talking about it the next day. He's falling out of bounds, and he heaves it to the end zone, and one of his receivers, I think he went up and got it, 50-50 ball.
Right.
He went up and got it over 3 defenders. So it was an by the way touchdown, but it was all about the potential that he has. So you want to make sure that he does not live up to his potential at all. And he hasn't been so far because everyone's been coming at him with everything that they have.
So going back to Brown, he's got 6 consecutive games of at least 125 yards. First time I think anybody's done that in the NFL.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Right?
That is.
So no one's really figured out how to handle him.
He beat a double team. It was clearly a big play in the game. And he beats a double team. And what you do as a big receiver, you can run down the field and create your own space if you're bigger than the DB.
Right.
Your stability, like I said, his shoulders, his muscle structure up top allows him to be more stable running down the field. If I'm running with a guy down the field, the strongest guy most likely is going to get the advantage for those 50-50 balls.
It's a contested
and he's
pass.
the strongest guy going down the field.
So to put in context what he's doing, and along with, by the way, Tyreek Hill, the single-season yardage record for receptions, Calvin Johnson of the Lions, 1,964 yards. And if you remember, before the season started, Tyreek Hill said, I'm going for 2,000 this year,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Well, right now, Tyreek Hill has 1,114 receiving yards in 8 games.
So he's on track.
So that means he's got 9 games left, right?
Right.
Your math is very good, Savannah, because he is on pace for 2,150 yards.
Yeah.
But A.J. Brown, with the amount of yards I just said he's on pace for 1,995 yards. So both guys are on pace to break the single-season record right now.
Spags, I don't care about one player. I really don't. I mean, we can let A.J. Brown go off.
Right.
And we can still kick their asses. So that's the way I look at it. This is a team. This is a game that's going to be more than about just
sort of what Jerry was
player.
talking about,
yeah,
right?
There's going to be a bunch of different factors in this game that's going to add to winning it.
Well, and the key thing, obviously, for the Cowboys is, okay, if they're going to score, you got to score.
You got to score.
And I noticed that the Eagles' defense, that everybody makes a big deal about, they're ranked 26th in pass defense.
That's right.
They've been giving up 247.5 yards a game.
Mm-hmm.
And in the last 2 games, Dak Prescott against the Eagles, so it would have been 1 last year and then 1 back in 2021 because he missed the first game in 2022.
Right.
In these last 2 games, for the Cowboys, Dak has completed 46 of 61 passes. That's a 75.4% completion rate, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, and he has a 124.7 quarterback rating. So the coaches, the Eagles coaches have been all talking about how well Dak's playing and that they've got to try to do things. Sirianni said we got to try to confuse him because once he gets going, he's hard to stop.
They will press our receivers
and try.
They've got to throw off our timing.
Right. Yeah. And right now, Dak's completion rate for the season is 71%. He's number 2 to Josh Allen, who's 71.7%. So what's got to happen here is Dak needs to play like Dak, and you got to love his confidence after the game. I can't remember if we talked about it early in the week tonight. After the game against the Rams, when they were talking, Jerry didn't want to poke the bear. And he said, if I'm fighting a bear, go ahead and pour honey on me.
Yes.
So I think that was, and that wasn't him bragging. I think that was to kind of show his teammates, hey, we got confidence. We can do this, right? We're not tippy-toeing into this game.
We talked yesterday now. That front, those guards, that little threesome right there.
They got to play.
They got to play. They got to keep him out of his face because you're not going to be. I don't care who the quarterback is. First of all, he's not tall enough to see above all of these guys coming in his face.
Right.
And if you got them coming around the outside behind him, and then they are in his face as well, there is no escape but to try and go retreat even further. And we've seen that it doesn't work. He's better when these guys are stifled at the line, and he can go out this way or escape that way. That's how we see Dak at his best. And he's been conscious of that lately. You can have it there for you all the time. But lately, I don't know who talked to him, but Dak has been conscious of that escaping, that route. He's been conscious of that as he keeps his eyes down the field. He didn't have that in San Francisco. He still could have escaped, but as he did escape, he didn't seem to be in tune to his receivers down the field. I don't know what they've been working on, but not just CeeDee Lamb, but all the receivers, Tony Pollard included, they seem to be able to find open space while Dak is escaping.
One of the
100%.
One of the neat drills, and I didn't see it as much this summer as much as I saw it last summer. They would, when they were in offense, they would call a scrambling session. So basically, you take the snap and you kind of sit there for a while, and then you start scrambling.
Yes.
And then your wide receivers got to scramble with you. And that was one of the things.
It has to be a coordinated effort.
Right? Yeah.
I don't care, one person, 3 people, that it has to be a coordinated effort on what are you going to do, CD, to find a hole for us?
Yeah, if I'm
what
running
are you going to do,
way,
Michael Gallup, to find a hole for us? If I'm going this way, or you want to come to the sideline? I don't want to go back to the middle too often. So you try to
get open.
Get open, but you want to be safe about where you get open because the defenders are smart too.
And, Washington, the Eagles beat Washington this past week, 38-31. So Sam Howell threw for 4 touchdowns against that defense. So they've got to be somewhat thinking, well, we're pretty susceptible to the pass.
I mentioned yesterday, too, so the Eagles secondary they've given up 12 touchdowns this season. That's at a 96.9% rate. So that's 20th in the league. So if you are giving up, that amount of touchdowns, and like we saw with Washington, there's an opportunity. It's just a matter of fact of Dak being able to get the ball out and get somebody that is open.
Are they a good running team, a running defense?
They were, where's that at here? They were first against the run.
I was going to say,
first
they should
against
be
the run,
with
and
those guys
26th against the pass.
Yeah.
So maybe you just say, no sense banging my head against the wall trying to run. Let me just go.
Like we did against Tampa. Remember against Tampa?
Bombs away. Right? And we will continue here on Mick Shots. We've got our picks and picks to click coming up next.
Nothing from Bill?
I did hear my phone ding in. No, he didn't. Why is somebody on my roof?
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Back to Mick Shots.
Experience the most electrifying event of the holiday season, Cowboys Christmas Extravaganza, powered by Reliant. Every Friday and Saturday night from November 17th through December 16th, Cowboys Christmas Extravaganza ignites the star in Frisco with an unforgettable holiday performance showcasing 65 performers, including the world-renowned Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, Santa Claus, and appearances from your favorite Dallas Cowboys football heroes. Visit thestardistrict.com for more info.
That was flawless.
You got any responsibilities in that?
Actually, I do. One of them is Santa Claus. He's a very good friend of mine that I get to, coordinate his movements for the show.
When you first said that, I
what
thought maybe she was. Oh, it's gone. I walked into CVS this morning to get something. And the last time I was in there, they had all the skeletons for Halloween and everything. Now
it's all Christmas.
Now it's all Christmas.
Yeah.
We just skipped it.
Nobody does.
We just skipped it, right? No,
Thanksgiving.
There was no turkeys in the CVS.
Watch out now. You just.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Christmas starts earlier every year, it seems like.
All right. Well, we should probably get going on our picks and picks to click. Bill was supposed to check in, but I'm sure he's up to his knees in parade right now.
Oh yeah.
I gotta say, we should go over last week's pick to click.
We can. I have it right here.
I bet you do, Miss Aubrey. Miss 18 for 18.
I mean, I was the winner last week.
By the way, not only is he the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week, he ended up getting the NFC Special Teams Player of the Month award.
Nice.
That's great.
So.
Savannah, that was your pick to click right there. That was
my
your
pick
guy.
to click.
That was your guy. Spags, you had Fowler.
Yeah,
I don't even know if he even showed up.
That didn't work out too well.
Bell. I had Bell out there, but he didn't force a fumble. But he was ball. Who did Bill have? You had that there.
He had Rico Dowdle.
Oh, never mind.
But Bell
all
had,
screwed up.
But Bell had a good game. He had like 7 tackles.
Yeah, but he didn't force a fumble.
Oh, you had to force a fumble.
I had to force. Yeah, come on, it's here. It's
There's
right
qualifications
here. Yes,
here.
man. Come on.
And who got the score closest?
None of y'all.
None of us.
Well, Bill 37-7.
It would be Bill.
Yeah. Well, we won't tell him.
No, we won't. Since he's not here.
He's not here. He doesn't get
He
the
never
gloat.
sent us his clicks to pick.
Well, Savannah, do you want to start us off? Or do you want
I usually
Everson?
start
Oh, that's
guys.
right. Everson
yes,
starts.
Yeah,
right.
you go first.
Step back, Savannah. All right. I am looking at, since I've been talking about him all week and how he needs to protect himself and how he has been protecting himself last 2 games, I'm looking at Dak being my pick-to-click guy. I'm looking at him having 2 touchdowns passing and 1 rushing touchdown. He's been using his legs a whole lot these days. He understands that that's his way of survival. So he trusts his lineman, but only so far, because he knows he's going to have to escape. So that's why I have the 1 rushing touchdown that he's going to have.
All right.
And I look at the score, and I know I'm giving our defense a lot of credit, but I think we're going to expose Hurts for his lack of good passing ability this year. 30-20, Cowboys.
All right.
30-20, Cowboys.
You're up, Savannah.
Okay. I am going to go with Michael Gallup for my click to pick.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Now, I know that there's been many conversations about Mr. Gallup not doing the most in some of these games. Yes, Everson. I think that his time is coming, and I think it will be on Sunday. I think he's going to get the ball more, finally get some yards, and I believe he's going to get at least a touchdown this game. So I'm going to go with Michael Gallup for my click to pick, and I'm going with the Cowboys 27-20.
All right. And so, you want me to pick for Bill?
No, Bill's...
He's out.
He's out.
All right.
Can't help
Here we go. My pick to click is going to be DeMarcus Lawrence. I think they will get after Hurts, and not only get after Hurts, but do a good job of getting some pressure on their running game. And as we know, it's not all about the sacks. DeMarcus Lawrence pretty good at playing the run.
He's always shown that.
So I'm going to go with him, and I'm going to go with Cowboys 31, the Eagles 24.
Okay.
And by time we get through next week, we're going to have a tie for first in the NFC East. So, yeah, I just think, and some of my reasoning is last year they split, right?
Right.
Eagles beat the Cowboys with Cooper Rush, and then the Cowboys beat the Eagles without Jalen Hurts.
Exactly.
And so this is the rubber match, the one that I was pulling for in the playoffs last year, and the Cowboys didn't get there.
Right.
And then Philadelphia ends up beating San Francisco, which beat the Cowboys, but they ran out of quarterbacks, ran out of guys that could throw the ball in that NFC title game.
And what I remember about the difference between when we played San Francisco versus when Philly played San Francisco, we couldn't do anything with their defensive line. We couldn't do anything. They were run or pass. They were giving us all kind of hell.
Oh, yeah.
And I recall the first drive by Philadelphia against San Francisco, I saw all kind of holes opening up. They did not have a problem blocking that 49er defensive line at all. So to me, that obviously that's where it's going to be. The game's going to be won there. But you have to show some type of a competence against this defensive line to have any chance of winning this game.
Right. No, absolutely. And they're awfully strong on that defensive line. So if they can at least hold them up so Dak can operate in the pocket, I think if Washington score 31, I think the Cowboys should be able to score 31. And this will be a great, I think, game for the fans to watch. And before we close, we're going to go back to one more Jerry Jones quote about the Rangers and what they did for their fans by being able to win this World Series. On Mick shots. Maybe.
Well, Nate and Frisco just passed by.
Nate's probably messing up the program.
Hopefully somebody's in there listening to me right now.
Did they know
play
this was
that
coming?
Second cut.
They knew this was
yes,
coming?
They did. Jazz knew it was coming. But
she's scrambling right now. I can hear.
Right, yeah, trying to find it.
Well, hell, what did he say, Spags?
Well,
just
quote it for us.
Tell me what he said.
Basically, he was talking about how sports inspires people, and that, you know, for a fan base, it's huge to be able to celebrate like this, and talked about how in his career that sports has meant so much to him that it's helped him get where he is today.
He was a national champion.
Yeah,
he and Jimmy Johnson, they were national champions at Arkansas.
It's in their blood.
Yeah.
So it was really good. Unfortunately, I think we're running out of time right now. I'm kind of scared to end the show because don't we usually end it with?
No,
we don't end it with.
No,
the
we
fight
don't
song.
end it with anything.
Okay,
no.
just me saying okay.
Not you. That's Bill. Bill says bye.
Thanks for
Bill
being
says
with
bye.
us. So, Jazz, is it okay if we end Mick Shots here?
Jazz, there she is. Hey.
Oh, so it's okay.
All right.
Well, we'll go out strong here.
Go Cowboys.
Rough times that you have with sport, everybody has it. Everybody, you can't really play unless you have some hard times. But it is the absolute glory hole to have that elusive win to be the champion. And I'm so proud for every fan that is out here that's headed that way and the ones that are at home. I'm proud for every one of them. And it has really been, I might say, one of the reasons that I wanted to spend my everyday and life in the world of sport. Obviously, there are a lot of hard days, a lot of days that didn't go your way. But I've always known that given a chance, there's millions and millions of people that would like to be in your shoes if you're a participant. So that gives you a responsibility to it. So bottom line is this, I'm so proud for our fans. I know our players, the players of the Rangers feel honored. The management, the whole team feels honored to have this kind of support. But they earned it. That's hats off to them. And it is inspirational. There's no way I could have in any way done some of the things that I've gotten a chance to do. As lucky as I've been, there's no way I could have done it without the inspiration of sports.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?